So one of the biggest mistakes for our footballers is that there's no plan, there's no big picture thinking. So one of the ways that we can actually work on taking a look at the macro is by having just a season-long plan. Obviously, things are not going to go as smooth. There's going to be changes, but at least have something on your head. So this is a structure that I follow, or I should say a template. It's very easy to follow, and I'll give you that for free. Okay, and I'm going to show you behind the scenes on what that looks like and how you can actually go about and structure your own season-long plan. Because you see, a lot of footballers, they don't have somebody to actually help them with their own season-long structure. Okay, so you have to actually do this for yourself, learn how to do that so you can get the most out of it and get to every match top notch. Okay, so we'll go behind the scenes on that. I'm going to show you my system, my thought process behind that, and also on a different video I'm going to show you the weekly structure. Okay, but that's for another video. Right now, let's just show you behind the scenes on how I go about structuring a season long and how I get the most out of my pro footballers.
So I wanted to quickly show you, or share with you, I should say, a brief handy dandy season calendar. So it's very important for you to keep just a long-term perspective. Obviously, we focus on what's going on day by day, week by week, but we also have to have a long-term, in this case, season plan, okay, if that is the case. So what I do, this is an actual template that I previously did for one of my athletes that I work with remotely. And so here's what I usually do when we start working. So I take a look at the whole season plan. Okay, so I see when they have their matches. Okay, as you can see, it's just every 7 weeks. Sometimes it's lots of matches in between the weeks. So we have to plan for that. Okay, so what I do is, so I have this whole plan set up for their season. So the reason it's not complete is because we started working with them just right on this day. Okay, so that's when I started my season. It's usually a little bit longer, but things change obviously, as the season goes by. But we try to take a look at just a general plan. Obviously, this is a tentative schedule. You can move things around as it happens. But generally speaking, because I have an app that goes along with what they're doing. So as I've mentioned before in some previous tutorials, I talked about this different colors and what they mean for me. So blue, it means that it's a session focused around low intensity and low volume type of exercises, all right, or stimuli. Yellow, low intensity, high volume. Green, high intensity, low volume. Red, high intensity, high volume. Think match day, okay, or think the tough day of the week. And obviously your match day. So this is a match day. So in this particular situation, this footballer has a match here, has a match here, has a match there. So what I usually do is I reverse engineer. So the most important day of the week is your match day per se. Okay, well, I don't want to say most important, but this is when you need to perform. Okay, it doesn't do us any good if you get to this day and you're tired. That's why we color coded each particular day with a different emphasis. Okay, so from your match, before that, okay, so what we do is, we always have a green usually before a match. Okay, so which is a high intensity, low volume type of emphasis, because you don't want to overload the system, okay, before a match. Okay, just you're too close to match day for you to do some hard, heavy type of work. So we usually do some quick, reactive, explosive, some power exercises, just very briefly, okay, for a short period of time. Obviously, it depends on the exercise. Depends obviously on your experience. Okay, but it's usually some jumps, some type of explosive lifts, okay, 2 to 3 sets, depending on the type of exercise, obviously. But usually this is the emphasis. Before that, okay, so 48 hours before the match, we have a yellow type of day, which is a low intensity, high volume, okay? So I have a whole tutorial that talks about those types of days and what type of exercises we do. And we have a red day. Usually match day is a red day, okay? That's when, things are, obviously high intensity, high volume, but we have a small game-like simulation, okay, which will happen at least 72 hours before a match. That's why we have the heaviest day here, okay, at least 3 days before the match. And then we have a low intensity but high volume day, which isn't going to be too taxing on your system, okay, but it helps us also to recover, okay, from this particular day. So it's a high day and then a low day, okay? So that's how I plan my whole season long, if you will, type of sessions. And then from the app, okay, they get the workouts that go along with every different color. So all you do is you take a look at what's going on. Actually, let me see if we can show you really quick, okay? So bear with me right now so that we can play along. And as I go into my session, and so that I can share my my phone. Okay, so hopefully this is the first time I've done this. We'll see. Let's take a look at that. Now, let's see if it plays out. Okay, so what I wanted to show you, there we go. Okay, we got it. So what I wanted to show you is, so for example, if you have a red type of day, you go into a red type of workout or emphasis on whatever particular session that will be. If it's a green day, that is before a match, that's what we will have, okay, just like so. Now, obviously, if you don't have the app, if you're not, if we're not working, okay, per se, together, that's fine, okay? You can still do, let me unshare this really quick. Stop mirroring. There we go. Okay, so regardless, okay, what you need to know is how to structure or how to give a different type of emphasis to each and every session so that you get to your match fresh, okay, and ready to go, okay? So this is how, or this is the template that it's very easy for you to do. So I'm gonna give you this template for free. Obviously, I use a software called Canva. It's got a free version. So all you gotta do is plug and play. So let's say, for example, your match is on a, here we go. Let's play something out. Okay, so your match is on the 13th. Perfect. Okay, so before that, usually I'll add a green day. Okay, there we go. Okay, and 48 hours before, I'll do a yellow type of day. So, all right, here we go. And then right before that, I'll have my heavier day. Okay, right before that, I'll have a green day. Okay, right before that, I'll have a yellow day. Okay, and right before that, we might have a blue day. Okay, because we had a match on this particular day. All right. Usually, what will happen is with your particular situation, this is the type of structure that we'll have. So this is maybe a Saturday match, okay, that you had, and then match day plus one, which is a Sunday. You were recovering, so that's a very low intensity, low volume type of session, or maybe it's a day off. That's what blue means. Okay, and this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then another match on Saturday. So that's how we usually would structure this, and that's how you're gonna be building this. Obviously, if you run out of colors, all you gotta do is go here, click, and add, okay, another one, just like so. All right, and you can obviously move things around, but just keep it easy on yourself. And depending on the particular month or period of the season, that's how you plan it out. So that's pretty much the macro vision. Okay, that's how you get started with planning your own training week or weeks. Okay, and then you go by that. Okay, you'll know what to do, okay, on each and every session that belongs to a certain color. Okay, so I have a tutorial for that as well if you need further information regarding that. If not, just send me a message or whatever. So there's going to be a link somewhere in here where you can actually just kind of plug and play, take this template with you, and then just, you know, go along with it. This is exactly the same template that I would use with my athletes. Okay, so all you got to do in here, just plug in your picture if you want. You can name it whatever you want. You can add your own logo, whatever. You put your name in there, blah 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 blah, the season or the year. It's plug and play. Okay, so name here, perfect. So this goes along perfectly with also the weekly training structure, which is that. And I have a different tutorial for that so that you don't get overwhelmed. But you usually start here. You start planning your whole season and you go by that. Because one of the big things that I see is that it's the lack of planning that keeps athletes just plateauing or not progressing, because you don't know, you know, when to do what. So this is a good starting point. And then after that, we go from the macro to the micro, which is the actual training session. But you got to go from the whole season or your long-term development plan, and then you got to go to possibly the monthly plan, which you have anyways in here, and then you have your weekly structure, and then you have the actual session. Okay, so that's how we work out here with our athletes. All right, I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it and make use of this template. Any questions? Let me know. Oh, actually, one more thing before we go. You can duplicate this, okay, just by doing this, which I have a duplicate in here, which is blank, or not blank, but I mean, it's already started right here, just kind of give you a heads up. But if you want to duplicate this, all you got to do is go here, duplicate the page, and you're gonna get another page just like so. Alrighty, well, hopefully you enjoy this, and see you on our next video or on the comments section on the community.